Novartis' 7-year legal battle failed after India's Supreme Court ruled it was an amended version of an existing compound.
We will continue with our investments in India, even though cautiously. New products which we launched, we will ask for patent for these products, and we hope that the ecosystem for intellectual property in the country improves.
Over the years, actually now since 2005, we've been able to build an over 10,000 strong presence in India, both with our Indian business, but also with this corporate center where we cover pretty much all of the key functions within Novartis, ranging from development, research functions, all the way up through our advanced analytics, AI, and other capabilities. We plan to continue to invest and expand. We think that Hyderabad is an incredible location for talent. And so for us as a corporate center, India has become a really key location.
$400 million. And this is the number that's going to fundamentally change India in the global biopharma industry. This is Novartis operating costs just in India, not on their sales, not on their commercialization, but on pure R&D and clinical development. So let me give you a perspective. So compare IPCA Laboratories, whose annual revenue is $600 million. They spend $50 million on their R&D budget. But comparatively, Novartis is spending 8x of this money in just India. I'm sure you must have seen headlines that scream to say Novartis is decoupling their commercial business and all of this in India. But now this is at a much larger scale. Now we need to look at the largest R&D center, which is going to be outside Basel, which is sitting right in India. This is the Life Science GCC Series. So far all of us been talking about GCCs coming in India, Hyderabad, Bangalore. But what exactly are GCCs? How many of them are here in India? We are going to be decoding all of them one by one in this set of series. Today we are going to be talking about Novartis. So who's Novartis? Before even we understand what do Novartis do in India, let's understand what does Novartis as a company does globally.
It's been a 6-year journey to transform Novartis into a pure play innovative medicines company. We've done about $100 billion of transactions over this time. We created 3 global leading businesses, supported the creation of a consumer health business, the Alcon eye device business, spun off Sandoz into a leading generics company. And now what I see everyone is seeing coming through in the third quarter is Novartis as a pure play innovative medicines, I think, powerhouse. And you see we were able to deliver double-digit sales growth, over 20% core profit growth, which really shows, I think, the business now really showing what it can deliver as a pure play innovative medicines company.
So Novartis is a global biopharma firm sitting right in Basel, Switzerland, with an annual revenue of $50 billion. And they are known for their innovative pharmaceutical approach using cutting-edge science and technology. They majorly focus on rare diseases, cardiac medicines, and immunology and neuroscience. So their blockbuster drugs include Entresto majorly for heart failure, and Cosentyx for autoimmune diseases, and Kisqali for breast cancer. So globally, Novartis employs around 75,000 people across the world. And you know what? 9,000 of them sit in India, which is 10 to 11% of their global workforce. I'm sure this is not just by any coincidence, it's a pure strategy. Novartis has a very interesting operating structure in India. Let's go see what do they really do out here. So let me give you an example to understand how do these global companies operate in India. So in 2022, Mercedes-Benz basically split their Indian operations into 2 different entities. One is Mercedes-Benz India Private Limited and one is Mercedes-Benz Research and Development, which sits in Bangalore. The reason behind all of these things is the Mercedes-Benz India Private Limited, they basically handle the local market dynamics, the local sales, dealers and all of these things. While their R&D center sitting in Bangalore, it handles the, say, EV powertrains, it handles the entire new vehicle components in creating all of these things. So this gave the global companies 2 different playbooks to focus on so that they can completely do things at scale. Now, this is exactly the shift that we're seeing in the life science GCCs globally as well as in India. So Novartis operates under 2 legal entities in India. One is Novartis India Private Limited, which majorly handles the local market sales, distribution and the legacy brands. And the other one is Novartis Healthcare Private Limited, which majorly houses their R&D center in Hyderabad. It handles their clinical operations and development at large scale. So this dual structure lets Novartis have 2 complete operations happening harmoniously and seamlessly. Whereas one that handles the commercialization very well, whereas the R&D center is majorly used to expand their global capabilities. And this is the playbook that started with Mercedes-Benz in 2022, and today every other life science GCCs is doing it. So Pfizer already have separated their CRO from their business operations. So even Astra runs a separate Bangalore R&D center other than their commercial center. So the pattern is very clear. We're seeing the multinational companies basically decoupling their commercial as well as their R&D centers, especially in India. I think it's a pure strategy play. So let's try to understand, how did Hyderabad become the epicenter of R&D hub, not just for India, but trying to be for the world? Let's decode it with Novartis. So India alone has 300 plus Novartis clinical trial sites, whereas Switzerland has only 40 to 50. And the major reason here is the patient recruitment timeline in India is just 8 to 12 months, whereas in Europe it's somewhere between 18 to 24 months, and it's US, it's crazy, between 24 to 36 months. So why is there this kind of differences across the world? Majorly because of the population density, and the other thing is basically treatment naive patient pools and low opportunity cost for the entire clinical trials itself. But not just this, but it also has a very interesting geopolitical angle. So across the world, Western biopharma companies are reducing their dependence on China for the clinical trials. Even Novartis have constricted or have contracted 15% of the clinical trials since 2022, and countries like India, Singapore is basically absorbing these opportunities at scale. Novartis Hub India contributes to nearly every late stage molecule of their pipeline, and they have close to 85 plus compounds in their pipeline. And if Indian clinical trials can contribute to 70 to 80% of it, that's like a significant amount that we are impacting in their annual revenue of $50 billion. So the $1 million question is, what 2,800 people do here at Novartis India? They are majorly split across 5 different departments. Begins with clinical development, which accounts for their 35 to 40% of the headcount, and they're basically involved in designing protocols, managing CROs, medical writing regulatory documents, safety signal detection. And the next big work pool is around biostatistics and data science, which comprises of their 25 to 30% of the workforce, where they majorly do statistical analysis planning, real-world evidence generation, and AI/ML model for patient stratification. And the next is drug development sciences, which accounts to 15 to 20%, where they're majorly involved in CMC analytics for formulation development, biomarker analysis, and translational medicine. And next, digital and technology, which comprises of 10 to 15% of the entire workforce, where they are majorly involved in clinical trial management, AI-enabled protocols, optimizations, and all of that. And the last 10% of their workforce is involved in regulatory and quality, which is regulatory intelligence of CDSCO, USFDA, EMA, and all of these things. So let's compare this with a typical Indian pharma company like say Sun Pharma, which accounts to say 60% of their workforce is R&D, 30 in clinical, and say 10 in regulatory. But if you look at Novartis workforce, it's entirely inverted. We have a larger number of people working in the clinical and in the data science aspect of it. Why? Because they find huge value in clinical evidence generation and navigating the regulatory complexity. So this brings us to the critical question: if there's so much of activities, who's being hired and where are these job roles? 418 active job openings as of February 2026. This is live LinkedIn data, and 305 of them are sitting in Hyderabad. So these job roles includes data analyst, QA officer, clinical data specialist, GenAI business manager, and many more job roles. Novartis needs people who are fluent in languages like say R, SAS, and people who knows to use clinical trial databases like Medidata Rave, Viva Vault, and also have a fair understanding of the regulatory frameworks here in India. Most Indian MSc biotechnology programs majorly teach cell culture, molecular biology, microbiology, whereas biostatistics is just a one semester paper out there. And this is the reason that it has a huge bottleneck in the talent pipeline. And this creates a huge filtering problem. Now let's say we have hundreds of MSc biotechnology candidates. 60% of them don't even know that these job roles exist. 20 know those job roles exist, but they lack the technical skills. 8 learners have the baseline, but they really require 3 to 6 months of upskilling, and only 2 people are really industry ready. The 418 open positions aren't staying open because there is no talent. They are staying open because the talent pipeline does not match the requirement specifications here in India. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. What Novartis expansion actually signals here about the future of R&D biopharma in India. So what does this actually signal? So pharma R&D is actually following the IT services trajectory, but 15 years later. In 2000s, skeptics said India cannot build complex enterprise softwares. But in 2010, Infosys and TCS built banking platforms for the world. Pharma R&D skeptics said that you cannot do innovative drug development in India, but we're already seeing that the genomic sequencing costs have come down to 10,000x. Cloud computing has enabled real-time global collaborations, and AI models are right now used to predict drug target interactions. So Novartis making India the largest R&D hub outside Switzerland is basically the Infosys moment for pharma R&D offshore. The value is shifting from molecule discovery to evidence generation. So basically 65% of the total drug development cost is actually in the clinical trials. And that's where India has built deep capability, and Novartis is not relying on India for medicinal chemistry, but for biostatistics, regulatory, and for clinical operations. So what does this mean for anyone who's evaluating a career in the life sciences? Let us first understand the bifurcation. So one, it is about domestic pharma, sales and marketing, and number two, it is global R&D services. The 418 open positions in Novartis in India genuinely reflect the demand in the clinical operations expertise, in the biostatistical capabilities, and in the regulatory intelligence. That's the Novartis story, and we will be breaking down more about the 143 life sciences GCCs that is there in India in the next upcoming videos. See you in the next one.